Hey guys, happy stimulus week.
Whoop.
For those of y'all who qualify already,
Those of you who spent your money already.
those of you who didn't spend that money on anything responsible or adult, and that's all right.
I went to Target and I saw Walmart shoppers.
Mm. And I know exactly what you mean by that.
Yeah. I was looking at them like, what are you doing here?
You know what was like that? The weekend, there was some NASCAR race here in Atlanta, or I don't know if it's NASCAR or whatever company it was. Um, and the bougie hood Walmart, the Bougetto Walmart had a very interesting influx of North Cobb County Walmart shoppers.
Oh, yeah. Like the ones who asked my girlfriend about if she was using food stamps.
Hmm.
That
Well, no,
happened.
these are the ones that actually have food stamps and live in trailer parks.
No, but they still judge black people.
Oh yeah.
But
But yeah, so it's stimulus week for some of y'all. Some of y'all are not getting that money, and that's okay. God has other blessings for you. I don't even want to say that. Some of y'all not getting that money who really probably could use it and really need it, and this whole shit is fucked up. And
you're waiting on Donald Trump because he's holding up the rest of the stimulus checks because he wants his name on them.
right, if you did not file your income tax with a a direct deposit option, you're going to get your stimulus check in the mail, and that's being delayed because Donald Trump wants his name to be on there, like the abusive, predatory sugar daddy that he would like to be. So now we know what Melania feels like. Anyway, guys, we're still in the house. I don't know how long we've been here. France is in the house till May 11th.
LA's in the house for another 30 days, I believe, also.
I think Atlanta was supposed to be out on Monday. Or not Atlanta, the state of Georgia was supposed to be over April 13th, wasn't it?
Yeah, he gave us a week stay at home order. Like,
And
what's
then
that?
he extended it till, did he extend it till the end of the month?
He's a damn idiot, is what he is.
Listen, guys, the fact remains if you don't have to be outside. And I mean, like, we don't even have to say it because everybody else, all the other lives that you've tuned into, and all the other podcasts who are still finding a way to bring it to you, and all of your news people are telling you, it's still the same shit. If you don't have to be outside, don't be outside.
You don't have to be outside.
Flights are still flying though, because I got an email today from Spirit Airlines. So apparently, if you want to catch a flight, you can. Georgia, he did extend it. He extended it until April 30th.
Unfortunately, today, the first TSA agent in Atlanta passed away. So
Yes,
I'm not flying nowhere.
yes, and it's like it's a more than 10 of them here locally who are sick. So, all right, guys, let's. I was gonna say on to some other non-coronavirus related things, but that's not really what's happening. LA, New York, and New Orleans have said that they don't anticipate any large live events until 2020.
2021.
2021. My bad. I still want to believe this year hasn't happened. I really, really feel like who knows? I told somebody that we ordered or somebody said they ordered 2020 off a Wish. And I was like, right. So really you ordered it for 2019 and it just got here super dumb late. And that's why it's being so ratchet. But yes, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti told CNN on Wednesday, April 15th, that it's difficult to imagine us getting together in the thousands anytime soon. So I think we should be prepared for that this year. Meaning we should be prepared to not be in large groups. He said, I think we all have never wanted science to work so quickly, but until there's a vaccine, some sort of pharmaceutical intervention or herd immunity, the science is the science. And public health officials have made very clear we have miles and miles to walk before we can be back in those environments. Trudeau who is the Prime Minister, I don't know why I'm blanking on his first name, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, said
Canada.
something to that effect that, he doesn't anticipate us completely getting rid of social distancing until there's some kind of vaccine. New York State officially has mandated that all residents have to wear masks now when they go outside. I would tell you, get a mask, stock up on hand sanitizer if you still haven't for whatever reason, and exercise extreme caution if you must go outside because the shit ain't changing no time soon.
I mean, I think we'll develop a new normal where, I mean, if you look at our neighbors to the east, in parts of Asia, the mask situation is normal for them.
Right.
That's something they just do anyway, just to protect themselves because there's so many people out.
That's
And
not why. That's part of why they were doing it. The other part was also because of pollution.
well, yeah, because the air quality is absolutely trash.
Mhm.
But they wear it when they fly anywhere. You'll see them flying to the States or whatever. So, it's something we got to get used to. I'm okay with it
Same.
if I can go outside.
If I can go outside, that's really it. And for whatever reason, like major events are still just not canceling in mass. So they just announced that they're canceling Tomorrowland 2020. It was supposed to take place. Oh, look, I thought I was logged into my Billboard account and I'm not.
Pass that password, sis.
I thought I did, but I got you. Because I got it. That's why I got it. I got it for us, honestly. Okay, so Tomorrowland was supposed to happen July 17th to the 19th, and then July 20 something. So I guess 2 weekends, kind of like how Coachella is. And they just officially announced that it was canceled. Essence Festival canceled late as fuck. Who have we not heard from yet?
Lovers and friends.
That was supposed to be this weekend, wasn't it?
Not anymore.
That's clearly not happening.
Not anymore.
That's so funny.
The whole year canceled. That's it. I mean, but sports teams are still trying. Every day I get an alert about a new schedule. With then, and we're gonna do it then, and the Olympics are canceled. It's crazy.
The Olympics have been moved to 2021. Lovers and Friends Festival has been rescheduled to Saturday, August 8th,
Right.
but tickets are no longer available.
Right, because it's not happening. So yeah, at least it's smarter of them to stop trying to sell us tickets. I wish these airlines would stop trying to sell us flights.
You can still join the wait list. They're claiming that this shit sold out. From the GA tickets, which were 145 plus fees for tier 1. So the GA tickets range from 145 to 175. The Saturday only VIP tickets range for, and this is just for Saturday.
They better
Right?
keep the same energy when the world opens back up. They better not ask nobody for a dime. Y'all said it was sold out, then it's sold out.
But there's a wait list. The super VIP tickets are $450.
That's not too bad.
But they're sold out. What that gets you, let's see. It will give you VIP entry line, VIP only restrooms, access to VIP food and drink vendors, not free food, but access to special fancy rich people vendors, as well as the general areas of the festival. And it also comes with an exclusive Lovers and Friends VIP laminate, access to the super VIP viewing area in front of main stage, as well as access to the exclusive Lovers Champagne Lounge, including champagne pours and complimentary snacks and water.
Wow.
You also get a preferred parking lot and a merch package upgrade with one limited edition t-shirt, a limited edition poster, and one hat.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I've seen worse.
Do you think the pricing for concerts is going to change once the ship finally opens back up in a whole year?
Yes, but I don't know in what direction. Like, things could go in the direction of, oh crap, we haven't made any money. Now we have to overcharge. Or we're cautious and we're not going to sell as many, so we need to lower or keep prices low so people will come at all.
Right.
So I think it's really going to be up to the enthusiasm of the consumer, right? If I was a consumer, I'd be like, man, I ain't going to y'all shit unless you lower it all the way to $25. Movies better be low as hell, bro.
Are they talking about AMC about to close?
All that. Hey, listen, it is what it is. Regal will still be there.
That's funny. That's so funny. Apparently, what people are willing to pay more for right now is streaming. This is according to a poll from Nielsen Music / MRC Data. It's a report called COVID-19 Tracking the Impact on the Entertainment Landscape, which you can find. I'm looking at a link to it on Billboard, but it is actually on Billboard. um, it looked like it was linked to something else. But anyway, they found that 60% of US population are engaging with more entertainment now that so many people are working from home. 24% of those surveyed added at least one subscription service in the last few weeks. 81% added video, 38% added music, and 14% added games. Of those adding a subscription, households with children were the demo most likely to do it because y'all just want your kids out the fucking way. This is based on a sample group of 945 people, and the data was collected between March 25th and March 29th.
No lies were told. I'm buying my kids anything that they need to stay in their damn room. You need a laptop? You need what? More video games? You say? What? I'm even letting them take snacks upstairs.
Right.
Want them to stay out my way. You know why? Because they get their Zoom calls in the morning, and in the afternoon, in the evening, it's my turn.
Right. That makes sense.
So,
That definitely
I,
makes sense.
I did see a bunch of people before stimulus checks at like, big box stores buying brand new TVs and stuff. You got to get dug in. You're going to be there a while. You know what I mean? You might as well have a nice, comfortable TV, nice sound system, because you ain't got nowhere to go. You stuck in the house. You can't be stuck in the house with a weak TV, bro. You just can't.
You know what my big purchase was? My big quarantine purchase? A bicycle.
Mm.
Like I went to a fancy schmancy bike shop and bought a fancy schmancy brand new bike.
You got tassels?
No. It's a grown up bike. I may put tassels on it at some point.
Grown-ups have tassels too. Does it have a basket?
No, it does not have a basket. It's purple though. Which if you know me is not surprising.
Is it one of the Jones with like the chrome on it?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's cool. We'll send you the Pimp My Ride.
It's not a look at me flashy bike. I mean, it's a flashy bike, but it's not a look at me flashy bike. It's a functional, hey man, I'm actually riding this for exercise bike. So I took me a nice little 7-mile ride on Saturday.
God bless you and everybody still out here exercising.
Hey man, you're married. Okay? You're married. You're in the house with somebody. This being alone, being single is hitting different for motherfuckers that's stuck in their house by theyself. No kid, no significant other, no relatives. It's just me. I'm buying a dog.
It sounds like a service is going to come out of this. If I was, an entrepreneurial spirited single person, you could get a COVID test, make sure that you're clear, and then offer your services of companionship to
You know
lonely.
what? People are just doing that anyway.
They are. I know.
On the honor system.
See, that's the thing. That honor system, man.
I mean, I think that honor system can work if you're not dealing with new motherfuckers.
How you feel about? I don't know if you saw this, but Tinder has a new. Well, it's not new, but they have that thing where you can like go on a trip, and basically it means that you can pick a place that you don't really live in.
Oh.
You know, normally you're like stuck to your area.
Okay.
So they're allowing you to say, "Oh, hey, I'm in France,"
So
and
that
you
you
get
can find people everywhere.
pen pals, worldwide buddies. Since since none of us can touch, or we're not supposed to, then it doesn't matter where you talk to somebody, right?
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, like at this point, everybody's in a long distance relationship unless y'all live together.
Facts.
You're all planning on when y'all can see each other. At best, y'all gonna be like, yo, when the last time you went outside? It's been 14 days? You coughing? No, you good? You still good? Check your temperature, my nigga.
Right, because if you leave my house on Saturday, Sunday, whatever. After Sunday, you gotta go back to your apartment and do work or whatever, and you come back on Friday. Like, how do I know that you ain't get sick in that time, bro?
But here's the thing. If you leave my house on Saturday or Sunday and we live in a city like Atlanta where you're not getting on public transportation, and add to that you're getting in your own car. Let's say you're not even doing Uber. You're getting in your own car. You came straight from your door to my door, and you're going back straight from my door to your door. It could work.
Let's hope that happened. But once again, on the honor system.
I'm just saying, don't go on the honor system for the motherfucker that won't take care of your ass if you get sick. That's all I'm saying. Make sure that that's at least the person that'll come and bring you snacks and leave them at the door or
Damn.
something.
Just quarantine with somebody. I mean, if you can.
I'm just gonna get a puppy.
I'm not letting my friends in and out my house.
Yeah, no.
No, I see you at the door, bro.
It's
good.
so funny because there's a guy in my neighborhood who I pay to do my yard, and he keeps coming because I had him working on something. So he's come by a couple times to see about it. And I won't open my screen door. Unfortunately, my screen door is not a screen, it's plexiglass. So I'll talk real loud, but nigga, I'm not opening that shit. I don't know. I don't even know what your living situation is. But I know that wherever it is, and I'm not even saying that to be funny, like this is not somebody, like this is somebody who is, was legit worried in the winter months because he makes his extra money mowing the lawn. So in the winter months when there's no grass growing, like he ain't got no extra dough. So this is not somebody who would like, I don't trust that this person has a very, very stable living situation. You could talk to me through this glass, fam.
Yep, like the Chinese store.
It'll be just fine. Now I'm gonna start opening my door with the mask on because I went outside yesterday and talked to my landlord for a minute. We were 6 feet apart, but we were outside in the yard, and now the damn pollen got me thinking I got corona.
Yo, this pollen, this I'm in here with the red eyes and everything, and I'm like, come on. I'm gonna be on Zoom calls and people are gonna be like, "Yo, you all right?"
Exactly.
Let's see. My sleep schedule is all jacked up.
That's a thing. I just saw an article about that. But keep talking while I find that article.
My sleep schedule has always been jacked up, but it's especially jacked up now. But mix that with the pollen, I got the red puffy eyes here and there, and I'm just over it because I'm tired of rubbing my eyes. My hands are partially white in the palms because I wash them 8,000 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
The hand sanitizer is rubbing my skin raw. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely wild. Like, I got corona palm. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird. Trying to make it out here in these new things. But I saw somebody say that don't say this is our new normal because the way we were living wasn't that normal. And a lot of people are seeing the other side. People who had 9 to 5s, people who live traditional lives, waking up at the same time, sitting in traffic at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
going to work at the same time, getting off at the same time, going shopping at the same time, running your errands on the same days, Sundays, Saturdays and all that stuff. It's different. It's different when you got to do it on your own schedule. Nobody else is telling you what to do.
The 3 tips that I heard this week that I think are really, really important. Shit, is it 3? Because I think I just forgot one of them. Damn, wait, did I forget 2? Okay. Let's just say 2. One of them is that people are urging, just because you can socialize with people while social distancing with the advent of or the help of Noom and House Party and all these other apps that are, popping up, not even popping up, that are becoming popularized now that people are all at home. You don't feel obligated. If you was the nigga that, like me, who on Monday would have been all gun ho about going to some show on Friday night, and your friends know that come Friday about 6 p.m., there's a strong chance that you're going to cancel, you can still do that. You do not owe anybody a reason why you don't want to answer the phone. You ain't got to. And if you don't want to be on freaking FaceTime, Ciz will tell you we've been recording the show using Skype. This might be the first time, maybe the second time that I actually turned my camera on. Cause I've been playing with my hair and my hair look cute and I just wanted somebody to see it. But like really,
That's what it was. I saw.
so that's all. But like other than that, I feel like I've always felt like FaceTime is a supreme invasion of privacy. And I don't want nobody, I don't know why. It just feels different than if we were talking in person. You don't gotta do that shit. And I want y'all to know, like, that's actually, people are actually having more anxiety about that because now it's like, my house isn't clean, my clothes are messed up, or, this is my private space, or like people who still have to be on Noom for work do not want to get done with work and then get on Noom with y'all niggas who's been bored all day. That's something they want to do.
Yeah, it's some management involved. It's different processes, and you just gotta figure out what works for you. Like extroverts are still extroverts, introverts are still introverts. Like we're not all just gonna magically change because we're all stuck in the house. So we all got to figure out our own ways to handle this new world.
The other piece of advice that I heard, which was brilliant to me, was just do no harm. Like, listen, I have been on my little workout grind or whatever. On Sunday, I was worthless. I woke up Sunday morning. I was sad because it was Easter and I was home by myself and I couldn't go to church. And no, church on the internet was not going to do it. I tried and it was hilarious. And no, it was not for me. Um, I forgot that it was, I forgot to plan like some kind of special Easter brunch or dinner or whatever. And then eventually, I think probably like around 12, 1 o'clock, I figured out that I had the ingredients in my house to make pancakes from scratch. So that's what I did. I ate breakfast at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on my couch. I got up to just put my dishes away. And then I sat on that couch for the rest of the day and I ordered tacos and I got up to get my tacos from in front of the door. By the way, I don't understand why food delivery people, when you ask for contactless delivery, don't understand not to put your shit right in front of the fucking door because you have to open the door.
You got to open the door, bro. Like what? Come on.
At least put it to the side. But all that to say, is that what I've been doing every single day? Absolutely not. If you get up one particular day, as long as what you're doing is not causing you any harm, take care of yourself, man. If that means somebody, I saw one of my homegirls said that she happened to go to the grocery, she went to go do something essential, happened to be next to a grocery store, and went in and bought a birthday cake, and she ate half that birthday cake, and that's what she ate that day. It's fine.
That's okay. No, it's absolutely okay. And I think that was kind of the point. Like I've been able to live a life of working from home, not having a traditional schedule. I haven't clocked into an office where I had to be there since 2007. So also being productive, I had to learn how to make my own schedule, but also how to just chill, take days off, not like stress myself out. Oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Because what a lot of people are learning is when you work for yourself and when you have your own thing or when you work from home and stuff like that, there's a different level of stress involved where you are overthinking if you're doing what you need to be doing. You know, am
Mm-hmm.
I am I doing that? Did I get this done? Did I get that done? Because nobody's there. You know, it's like when that first week in college, you know, when you got there and your parents weren't there to tell you what to do. And that one day you like stayed in bed for a little bit and you're like, you felt like trash.
Right.
Cause like you thought you did something wrong, but you didn't. And however you spend this time, you know, it's how it should be. Like literally, you're okay. You can live life and not beat yourself up. You can enjoy life. You can take a day off, you know, and especially for creatives, if you're not inspired, don't force yourself to work. You don't have to sit in front of your computer and make yourself write an article, or you don't have to sit in front of your beat machine and I got to work on a beat, or I got to write a song or whatever. You don't go watch some TV. Play a video game. Like chill out. Do whatever it is read a book. Do whatever it is that you enjoy, because ultimately life is about your happiness. And I think we
Right.
all get that. Like all these other things are cool, but when y'all put me in, when you put me in the ground, the rest of y'all niggas gonna keep going and keep doing what y'all doing, and I'm gonna be gone. So I might as well have a good time while I'm here, and everybody should remember that and adopt that philosophy.
Yep. Indeed. So yeah, what else is going on in the world? Y'all are tired of rich people asking you for money, yet somehow Diddy raised $4 million dancing on camera.
But there was controversy.
Yes, there was controversy because people like to find controversy in things. So tell them. Did you watch it?
I did. Um, First of all, Diddy, J Lo, and her husband
Her
are cute.
fiance.
Well, fiance, they're not married.
Mhm.
Okay, they're cute. Diddy was doing, he was doing a salsa dance, and J Lo was like, "Poppy, I taught you that," and then it was just cute the interaction. So, and
Yes,
then
apparently A-Rod is Diddy's biggest fan.
right later on, A Rod was confessing that he was the biggest Bad Boy fan, Mace, Puff, and all that stuff, which makes him pretty normal because we were all Diddy stands back then, to some degree. But it was just a positive interaction. So they had a dance-a-thon, right? And he was raising money, had all these celebrities dancing. And then Lizzo got on and she was dancing. I don't recall the song. Um,
But it was a
and,
song with apparently a lot of curse words in it.
right, right. And then she started twerking. So I don't know if he paused her for the curses in the song, or for the twerking, but everyone assumed that it was because she was twerking.
Right.
So it became, and then later on, had another young lady whose name escapes me who was
Trey
twerking.
and Michelle,
Right, Drea Michelle was twerking, and she
the
was
only
dropping.
basketball wife to ever be on a Basketball Wives show, and we still don't know what basketball player she was attached to.
But she was dropping it low, and everybody was enjoying it, and it just seemed as if the two were related. So he told the big girl to stop dancing, and he let that little skinny chick do her thing, and they enjoyed
Here-
it. So I
here-
don't know.
Here's what happened when rabble rousing Twitter got upset that they didn't factor in. Lizzo was on fairly early in the day, like I think like 4 in the afternoon or something like that. And immediately when Diddy came back and stopped her, immediately out of his mouth, he said, "Let's play something a little bit more family friendly." Like
Right,
he immediately made a comment about the music.
right,
Okay. And the next day, he issued a statement and he said that it was not about her, it was about the words in the lyrics in the song. That was an unedited song.
yeah,
Mind
because
you, Diddy
yeah,
was promoting this thing with his children. Like his daughters were doing little dance videos with Drake. His daughters are 9, bro. Like, no, he didn't want like super, like not even the edited version of these songs on there while people are watching with their kids. Because the whole idea was for you to have a family dance party. Drea, on the other hand, was on at like 11 o'clock at night. If your kid is still up at 11 o'clock at night watching Diddy's IG live with you, like they are used to lick cigarettes and hood rat shit with their friends. And Dre and Michelle twerking is not going to affect Ray no. I'm tired of people just being mad for nothing.
But you got to find something, because I mean, clearly there's no logical situation in which he was just not angry at a fat girl.
And there's no logical situation where it was just not appropriate, because like this goes back to, and I love Lizzo as a person. We've already talked about how I feel about her music. We've talked about it here on the show even. Matter of fact, if you're listening to this and you know how I've described Lizzo's music, DM me on Instagram with your Cash App and I got a little something for you. It ain't gonna be a big something. It's gonna be a little something. It's gonna be like the equivalent of a drink. But if you can recall,
we got some listeners.
Listen,
who hit me up and tell us about some of the things we said, especially the Tory Lanez's.
Tory Lanez. So, as a woman of my word, if you can remember how I've described Lizzo's music, and I'll give you a hint that it has something to do with a retailer, I will buy you a drink, a virtual drink. But anyway, this goes back to when Lizzo wore the assless chaps to that basketball game, and people were like, "My nigga, you're at a basketball game in assless chaps." It's not that everything ain't for everywhere, bro. I got titties. It's some shit I can't wear to my nephew's soccer games.
Right. But see, some people don't have no couth. So, and then some people just want to, once again, they want to be mad. They want to feel like, oh, we're just telling her that because. And listen, maybe some people are. Let's just keep it real, right? I'm not even going to say that there aren't people who have issues with people and themselves and they got deeper things going on about people's weight and appearance, because that's a thing. It happens. But she should have known better. And the Lakers and the NBA have a whole dress code. I've literally seen people turned away from games for wearing certain things, women, certain outfits or whatever. So if we're going to keep it all away, the Lakers should not have allowed that. You got kids sitting up, down there in the front row next to her. Like, it's just not the place. If you go into the club, whatever, you out partying, you out just hanging out, you out walking, whatever. But that just wasn't the form.
It wasn't it. All right. What's going on with Young Chop, yo?
I don't know. I mean, he's putting out a lot of music, so now I'm just starting to think maybe he's trolling for likes. Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe he's feeling a way about people still in the whole drill situation or whatever. The crazy thing is he lives here.
Right. So he was arrested here last week on Monday on the 6th of April following a shootout, because apparently he had been on the internet telling people that he was looking for 21 Savage.
Mm-hmm. This is going to get ugly before it gets not ugly.
Here's my thing. It's like there's so much going on right now. Like, why is this even a thing?
Right.
Apparently, during his hunt for 21 Savage, let's see, he hired an Uber driver to drive him around. He said that he was trying to find 21 Savage after apparently they got into an argument on social media.
You told the Uber driver that?
No, he told the Uber driver that he was trying to find 21 Savage. I think he was on live saying, like, I'm trying to find 21 Savage, da 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 da. And just like as an aside, we're only talking about this on this show because Young Chop is a producer. Y'all know we don't do beefs and drama and all that other shit. But to me, it's a situation where, like, I've never really heard much about Young Chop. I've heard his music, I've heard his production, obviously. But this shit to me sounds like maybe I watch too much drama on TV. Maybe it's too much Ozarks, but it sounds like he's not mentally well. So he he was on social media telling people that he was trying to find 21 Savage in Atlanta. He got into a verbal confrontation with an armed, unidentified male, I'm guessing is what this website was supposed to say. His Uber vehicle was later riddled by bullets from an unknown black sedan that was trailing them.
So he
So
done
now,
got the driver shot up.
you feel me? Okay. Who's paying for that Uber driver's car? Because I'm fairly certain like there are clauses in insurance policies that say that they don't have to pay out if there's a crime committed. Like I almost didn't get paid for a car accident because the broad that rear-ended my car then decided to punch me. And so her insurance company could have denied the claim because there was a criminal case. Okay. So now the Uber driver has been riddled with bullets. Then they tried to chase the shooter. So the Uber driver, now I don't feel bad for your ass no more. Chop requested that the Uber driver not report the shooting incidents to police in exchange for compensating for the damages. Okay, so cool. Chop was ready to pay for your shut out car. What movie is this? Is this a movie?
No, no, this is like Snow on a Bluff. It's the real version. I mean, this is gonna go bad, and it's sad that we got to watch this going on right now. Go in the house.
Go in
You out here
the
with a
house.
mask on. You out here looking for 21 Savage with a mask on. You don't want to catch COVID-19, but you want to catch some bullets.
Wait, he had a mask on?
He did. I'm just like, fam, what's happening? Like, you gonna this to shoot him from 6 feet away? I mean, and here's the thing, like, you're in Atlanta, dog. This ain't Chicago. You
First of all,
don't,
I wouldn't do that shit in Chicago, but in Atlanta, like Atlanta niggas don't care.
Chicago people don't care, but it's always about where you are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if I'm in Philly, I got a different level of confidence than if I'm out of town.
Exactly. You
Cause
out
it's
of town in an Uber too. Like you're not even in your own car. I don't understand.
why is he in an Uber?
Well, I think rental places are closed right now.
This is crazy.
It's just nuts. Like I don't. We
Are,
know it's not going to end well.
are drugs involved? Is what I want to know. Because he's been going through these things. And this is what we got to be mindful of. Like, somebody's got to intervene here because this is not normal behavior. It's not rational behavior. And it's like out of the blue. And it's made him the topic of conversation. And he's put out music during the whole rant or whatever. I don't know if it's in some way calculated or if he just really felt the way and he just snapped. But it's not going to end well.
Okay, so knowing that this isn't going to end well, I feel like an asshole because I have to read this in Atlantese, in East Side Atlanta. So on Monday, the same day that he dropped his project, Chop posted a video on Instagram of some other man threatening him. And he said, me and my partners, we all had to talk. And I ain't gonna lie, and Chop, you can't be in the city no more, bro. The rest of the East Side, we banning you out this city. There was probably a bruh there too. You're doing too much. You don't think we're gonna take a stand? I'm gonna tell you something right now. I don't give a fuck where you from. We gonna give you 24 hours to get out this city. Since you want to go viral so bad, we finna. See, Hip Hop DX says gonna. I know that man didn't say gonna. He said we finna make you go viral.
Exactly. The East Side ain't got no sense. What's wrong with him?
You guys, for reference, Gucci Mane's from the East Side, so do with that what you will. All right, that's all the negativity we have time for over here. I want to send a shout out to the brilliant, brilliant journalists at Vibe and Billboard Magazine and The Hollywood Reporter, Adweek, Dick Clark Productions, and BT who got laid off this week. Um, it's still not clear exactly who or well, not who. Like obviously I follow a lot of these people, so I've seen the people that have posted that they have now left Vibe and BT or what have you. But they began the company that owns so all these outlets are owned by the same company, which is Valence Media. They own The Hollywood Reporter, Billboard, Vibe Magazine, Dick Clark Productions. And they started doing some layoffs on Tuesday in an effort to reduce their expenses. They said that the cuts are basically going to account for $9 to $10 million of personnel and headcount expenses. And so they are downsizing to include a reduction in print of frequency for The Hollywood Reporter and Billboard. So, Billboard usually prints weekly. I don't know if they're saying they're going to print less frequently or if they're going to just print less amounts of issues. My homie William Ketchum III, who is a deputy editor at Vibe and really really dope writer who supported a lot of my PR clients over time. He was one of the first people to announce that he was leaving, and then you started seeing other people kind of posting it. Um,
Damn.
what super worries me about this is like y'all, Vibe is almost gone. Vibe magazine, this amazing gift that Quincy Jones gave us, that so many amazing people who I've looked up to and worked with over the years have contributed to, like, there, from what I could see, and maybe it's just because I'm looking at the people that I follow, but from what I could see, it looked like a majority of Vibes staff got cut.
Mm. That is it's tough out here. I mean, the creative world's getting hit hard. We saw it with South by Southwest when they laid off all these folks,
Mhm.
full-time staff just let go. We got to realize, like, certain entities are not going to survive this this economic downturn. When we come out of this, we're not going to have everything we went into it with.
Nope, we're not. And then you got to look at also like the overhead with these companies. The same way that we're all sitting here like, yo, do I really have to pay rent? Nobody's working. Like, if you've ever been to Billboard's office, it's in Times Square. They have a whole floor, 2 floors, Balance Media does, in Times Square, that right now nobody's going into. Billboard has the setup. They have 2 different rooms set up for you to be able to do a full concert in that room. Obviously not with an audience, but they have space for you to have a full band in one of the rooms. The other room is like a smaller acoustic room. Like, that's a lot. That's Times Square, Manhattan. Just to have that space. Just
Bro,
to have that space. Then you got to pay the utilities in that space.
we used to be 8 blocks down the street in a broom closet in a office of an office of an office, and we paid an arm and a leg.
Right.
So imagine, we were over there by Mars 1212 on 51st, and that's expensive. And like I said, we were subleasing of a sublease of a sublease. It was still
We
high.
weren't even allowed in the building.
Right. We wasn't even supposed to really be there.
We didn't have no keys.
Man. Ugh. No, it's tough, man. Y'all, um, it's gonna be a lot of people transitioning into other things. It's gonna be a lot of people having to figure things out. I think a lot of us remember 2008. We remember the financial crisis and how messed up things were with the music industry and how many people lost their jobs, and how things were very similar to now. And when we came out of it, things were different and they never went back to the same way. So, but a lot of people came out of that stronger, with new ideas, and a lot of ingenuity happened. And like, the darkest time is when people are the most, creative. That's when
Right.
people really figure things out, when your back's against the wall. So, you know, uh, shout out to everybody at Vibe, but in all those publications, and we're not done. There's going to be more. There'll be more layoffs. As we start pushing these dates of bringing the economy back online, back further, there's going to be more companies tapping out. More big companies are going to tap out.
Yep.
and we just got to be prepared. So I hope everybody has that thing that they're passionate about that they always wanted to do. Now is the time. Now is the time to learn a new skill, take an online class, watch YouTube University, figure out something. You
And at
got
the
to.
same time, some of these new options for you may not be that. Like, it's going to be call centers that are hiring. Somebody definitely called me today about a bill, and I could hear his alarm going off, his smoke detector, telling him that he needed a new battery in the background. Uh,
Listen. Oh my God. Man, shout out to all the
oh,
people home, trying to figure out how you gonna work from home with your kids running around in the background, and you trying to figure that whole thing out.
yeah,
Uh,
and I hope that you parents are thinking about the fact that ain't gonna be no summer camps this summer.
mm-mm.
That's a dub.
No, one of my friends, she was talking about, her daughter is a figure skater,
Mhm.
so she's just like, man, I really hope that figure skating's gonna happen. And I was just like, look, it's not happening, Mary. It's just not. You might as
I
well.
mean, when does figure skating start back up? October?
No, I think they do like training all
Or
year
okay.
indoor. So I think they take the summer to do some training. But it's just parents who've been used to having their kids go away or do this thing or whatever. A lot of them needed that time. You know, that was their like time to decompress. Like, all right, school's over. You know, now I can get the kids out for a couple weeks. Me and the significant other can spend some time together.
But the kids
And
need
that's
that time too. What scientists
it.
are saying now is that, noon play dates, if you can facilitate it, if you're one of those people who is lucky enough to have a computer that can facilitate it, or to have, the ability somehow to connect your kids with their friends digitally, that's cool. But little people need that direct interaction.
But luckily, my little people have little people. So
Right.
it's not just one of them. But, any kid that's in there and it's just you by yourself is tough.
It's tough.
You know?
But also, even beyond that, like in the summer when they're going to camp, a lot of these camps are either like, my nephew's done soccer camps. Like, he went to, there's a soccer academy outside of Tampa that's like it's a sports academy. It started out as a tennis academy, and then it became like a basically boarding school for student athletes. And he
Mhm.
went there one year. This year we were looking at marine biology camps for him to go to. Like, my niece and a few other kids that I know do like cooking classes in the summertime or acting classes, whatever. Like, your kids, you got to figure some shit out for your kids to do this summer. It will not involve any kind of a organized anything. At most, if you're in an area where there's a YMCA, maybe the Ys might open back up by like June. Maybe. But I seriously doubt it. So,
Got it. There's one around the corner from me, and they've been shuttered. And
yeah.
Agape, the Agape Center, they've been shuttered too. So yeah,
So, I have one of those mindsets though, where I'm really one of those people that's looking outside at the same time at the fact that, like, the pollen's doing what the fuck it's doing, but like pollution is down, and like turtles are gathering in mass on a beach to lay eggs that haven't been able to do it in years because there's too many fucking humans there. Um, I look at shit like that and I feel like and also the fact that, like, yo, it be mad wildfires. Y'all don't think about the massive numbers of wildlife that get killed in these wildfires. There are all kinds of, like, it's called the bird flu or the swamp. Like, it's all kinds of shit that don't affect us. It's all kinds of shit that affect trees, that don't affect animals. Every species on this planet got to get moved around sometimes, bruh. I'm sorry. And every major civilization in the history of man has had to flip something at some point, and we have been coasting for a very long time.
we have now. Mother Nature's like, sit your ass down. The world needs a reset, and this is what's going on. So I believe that.
All right, back to the world of music. Shouts to Rhapsody, whose album Eve is now being turned into an English, or being turned into, excuse me, an English course at the Ohio State University and at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
That'll be taught online.
Well, hopefully it'll be taught for many years. and so it won't have to just be online. But she posted an Instagram photo of a student of Tyler Bundy, who is a grad student at UNC. And he's the one that's going to be teaching the course called Black Womanist Criticism and Rhapsody's Eve. And then, let's see. Then she also shared, and Simone Drake at the Ohio State University, I guess, is teaching the same course. It's pretty cool. I'm always excited when rap albums get studied, but when it's a rap album by a girl who can really, really rap, all the better. And it's a good album. Um, did you know that 2 Chainz and them were being sued for the song Proud?
Yeah.
You didn't know?
I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say something that wouldn't sound nice.
Say it, say it, say it.
I was gonna say you shouldn't be able to be sued by somebody if your song sounds much better than theirs. But that's not true. You should be able to be sued if somebody infringes on your copyright. So that's the real answer.
That first answer was funny though. Um, so there is an artist named Slugger from somewhere in Tennessee, because it says so in his video. That's the only reason why I know that. And Slugger released a song called Proud in 2015. And the hook to Slugger's song is like, I just want to make my city proud. I just want to make my homies proud. I just want to make my mama proud. I just want to make my daughter proud. You get 2 niggas from the South to say, I'm just trying to make my mama proud. It's going to sound the same.
That's not like some unique thing, though. I'm pretty sure you can find 800 versions of that same hook. I mean, it's just the basics. And this is where the whole copyright thing gets to be weird because a lot of us live similar lifestyles. We have similar slang. We say similar things, and then we go and we put it in a song, right? So people act like they made up stuff. You know what? Your grandmama should sue you for copyright infringement because you saying the shit that she said. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you put it in a song, and it's all good because, you know, I get if it's like melodies and certain intricacies or whatever, and you jacking those from somebody, but I just want to make my mama proud. Like, come on, bro.
Well, that lawsuit did not go in the direction of Slugger, aka Solomon Clayton. The suit was dismissed. The entire case was dismissed. And I'm not sure, does it say why? I really wish that people were more thorough in their breakdowns of things, but they're not, y'all. And I really wish that I was more thorough because I really probably should have read the shit before I started reading it to y'all. So, you know what? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Um, Lastly, in the world of news that I have found for you guys, it's appropriate to be shared on this particular show. Shit, we didn't introduce the show again. Y'all know what the fuck y'all listening to. It's fine. Um, there is a documentary in the works about Pop Smoke's life. His manager, Steven Victor, who is also Pusha T's manager, who is also Haitian. I just had to throw that in. Said, I'm working really, really hard on this Pop Smoke album, and I'm working on a documentary for him too and his foundation. I'm just really focused on making this label like the next Jimmy Iovine and Interscope. So by this label, he's talking about his own label, which somehow you quoted this man talking about his label, but you didn't actually include the name of the label in the article.
What's that have to do with the Pop Smoke documentary?
Because it's all part of the same, like it's
right. I get it. Yeah,
okay.
I get it.
So,
They just didn't do a good job.
Right. So let's see. Let me see if I can break this down.
We up here editing and judging and see. This is what happens. Hang out with Ty and Ciz.
No, nobody felt the need. We know that Steven Victor previously was the COO at Good Music. He was A&R at Def Jam. Hence the the Pusha T relationship. That's where that comes from. And fuck, man, like so apparently he has a label of his own that Pop Smoke was signed to. Y'all, it's too much to read. I can't even find all the shit. All we know is that there is an album coming. a posthumous Pop Smoke album. Last week we talked to you guys about a new song that he put out or that they released by Pop Smoke featuring Dave East. And yeah, now they're working on a documentary. I really wish that I could have presented that information to you more succinctly, but the universe did not see it fit. For those of you who are wondering what the fuck you're listening to, this is the Chopping Block Podcast. My name is Ty, St. Boogie, as they call me in these streets. And by these streets, I mean the internet.
And I'm Scissor215. Some people call me Two Gun Ciz. If you know me like that, if not, don't call me that.
You sound like me. Yeah, the chopping block is the oral representation of two things that we contribute to on the internet. One is the chopping block on iStandardProducers.com, where we review albums track by track, and the other is the credit check, where we provide you the most comprehensive collection listing of album credits on the internet. And then we took those two ideas and we put them together and we gave you this fun moment of escapism as we discuss the world of the creator fam, music creators, and new music. So I always forget. Do we do albums first or do we do new music first?
Well, before we do anything, we have to talk about Instagram live battle. Instagram battle.
There was another one, huh?
There was.
Shit.
So, and shout out to Verzuz. They have a Twitter now. They have official accounts now. So we don't have to wait around for it to be passed down to us because Teddy Riley and Babyface are battling. I mean, not Teddy Riley. Yes, Teddy Riley and Babyface are battling this Sunday. That's official. But we had DJ Premier and the RZA. So when they announced the battle sometime middle of last week, a lot of you seem to think that the RZA was gonna get trashed. And I was a little curious as to what your hip hop background and acumen was, because clearly a lot of y'all forgot what the RZA had brought to the world. I mean, maybe you don't have Hulu and you didn't get to see the documentary. Maybe you were under a rock when the Wu-Tang Clan came out, and maybe you didn't know that he had worked with Big and that he had worked with Kanye and a couple other folks. So you just thought like he was just going to get body bagged. I mean, I saw polls with 70% Primo, and now don't get me wrong, I'm a huge DJ Premier fan. I mean, he's one of the all-time greats in hip hop. But record for record and career for career, these are two of the most respected producers in the game. So Primo was not going to do it unless it was somebody of a certain caliber, somebody he respected. So he knew that the RZA had, fire in the tuck. And so the battle started. And the comments were full of DJ Premier stans, many of them from New York, which is weird because the RZA is also from New York. But somehow DJ Premier, who's not from New York, is more New York than the RZA. So, that was fun. RZA's sound was pretty jacked up at first. Couple records in the first couple rounds, we really couldn't get into it because clearly Verzuz has not figured out a uniform way to make things sound good on these battles.
Though.
Yeah, and we have too, but we're not sharing. But it was pretty clear after I'd say the first 5 records that people will remember who the RZA was. And I'm just gonna say this: hip hop won. That's the political answer. The RZA didn't even play some of the major bombs that he had. Like he was just making sure all of the Wu-Tang was represented. Like he made sure you heard a Master Killer verse and a Inspector Deck verse,
and that's where he fucked up at.
But even doing that, I still had him winning on my scorecard. So
So here's what I personally never thought that I never underestimated RZA as a producer because that would be fucking asinine. What I foresaw was that RZA was gonna give us a whole gang of Wu-Tang records. And I tuned in. This is the only one I tuned in. I figured out a way for very briefly. I figured out how to use my smart speakers as Bluetooth speakers. I don't know why they wouldn't stay connected, but I tried. And then when that didn't work, I was just like, all right, fuck it, I'll listen to it through the phone or whatever. Um, and after about 4 songs, I jokingly went on Twitter and said, "You know what?" Actually, I wasn't joking. Y'all know me. I wasn't joking. I went on social media and I said, "You know what? Let me just go play this Wu-Tang playlist because this is all that RZA's going to give us." And RZA gave us 20 songs, and of those 20 songs, 18 were Wu-Tang records.
Of course they were.
Okay? When I made my little joke and this was in the midst of them having all these, audio issues, which to me me personally, that takes away from the whole experience because these are the people who we revere in terms of producers, right? And then one of the things that we've always admired about RZA is how progressive he is.
Right.
So the fact that RZA will pull up and his sound wasn't right pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah, they're
Okay?
full. So they're full. What I will say
Showed up
is,
late. Sorry, showed up late.
but he tried,
Okay.
and he at least had the eye rig. And here's the problem: you got the comment section, and people are listening to people in the comment section because they're like, "Hey, how's this sound, guys? How's this sound?" Right. So RZA had the eye rig, and the eye rig didn't sound bad. The problem was it had a lag. Right. Y'all need to get these tech solutions together before y'all hit the start button.
Please.
Y'all got to send out some briefings, have a conversation, like do a run through, do a walkthrough. You know what I'm saying? Like behind the scenes or something, where y'all can have a tech expert who can help them. You know, you got all these tech companies. This is the RZA. This is DJ Premier. This is Timbaland. This is Swiss Beats. You guys are professionals, and y'all can't figure out Instagram. I'm sad. Pete
And
Rock not
that's the
doing.
part that makes me feel sad because y'all don't got a name for it. You're doing interviews about it. You're doing flyers for it. You guys are the top in the world of hip hop production. Okay? Like
And it's
y'all,
still trash.
everybody that's been involved so far is a is legit. Sorry, not you, Sean Garrett. Okay, maybe Sean Garrett too. Is is a legitimate pioneer. Well, actually, we won't even talk about the producers. About the songwriters. Let's just talk about the producers because this is their territory. Every single producer that has been involved in one of these versus battles is a pioneer, has pushed boundaries in some way, shape, or form, has given us classic material, classic records, shit that you could play for your grandkids, and your grandkids will still be able to appreciate the value of the music. If your grandkids are not fucking knuckleheads, and if they're knuckleheads, that's your fault, but that's a conversation for another day. Y'all couldn't be bothered. None of y'all could have made a call to get somebody to fucking sponsor y'all with the proper equipment. Nobody?
Nobody. It's crazy.
None of y'all had this shit at home already?
That's why I said, at least the RZA tried with the iRig. I just had we had a conversation with Derek from IK Multimedia, who makes the iRig, and they have whole setups dedicated to mobile stuff. The problem is it's just like y'all are the top, but y'all coming out here with these whack systems, and most of the battle, the first 4 or 5 rounds was just people complaining about the sound.
Right.
Like literally nobody could enjoy it. So are we gonna go do this again? And when Teddy was like, nah, we need to figure out a platform where this sounds great. I felt that. When Pete Rock said, I'm not doing it until y'all figure out the sound, I felt that. Figure it out. Y'all got a whole week, fam. Y'all got a whole week to figure out how to make this sound better.
And nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do. Nothing else. Swiss, because you in your bunker with your terrible internet, and y'all making calls and figuring out who's gonna be in it or whatever, but y'all need to be on the phone with some nerds who got this stuff figured out. Did y'all even Google it? I mean, seriously, it's absolutely crazy. So
So
just want
now,
to rant.
with that being said, when I went back to the internet, by the way, after I said that I was just gonna go and play my own little Wu-Tang playlist, I was playing Protect Your Neck at the exact same time that RZA was playing Protect Your Neck, and I tapped out. I was like, all right, cool. This is
Yeah.
all we needed.
And Tidal had the playlist up around like 16. They had it up, you know.
I will say this though. How you judge that battle depends on three factors. There's three ways that this battle is judged. One is, were you actually comparing beat for beat? If you were comparing production solely, what's the better beat? A lot of people went RZA. If you were comparing hits, you got to give it to Primo.
See, I don't think so. I think it's the absolute opposite.
What?
So, and I'll tell you why. I'm a big Primo stan, but a lot of the records that he played weren't it. Like the group home records, those weren't hits. Those were
Right.
records that we liked. DJ Premier is a producer who has a sound, an iconic sound that everybody who did an album in the 90s and early 2000s had to go to him for that sound, right? It was Tim, it was him, it was the Neptunes, it was all these guys that you knew would dominate these albums. So, but when he played joints, it was like, yeah, that was cool. He played maybe like 4 songs that I thought were hits, but a lot of his joints were just really solid Primo tracks. And then when he pulled out the bombs, like the Nas's likes and all that stuff, then people were like, yeah, that's it. But RZA has been the more prolific producer in the mainstream. Wu-Tang they're the most recognizable and iconic rap group in history, worldwide, from one end of the earth to the other. So I just felt like, and still I felt like the RZA didn't even pull out the big bombs. It was like when people say, "Oh, the RZA just played Wu-Tang," I'm like, well, Wu-Tang is 10 people, 10
Right.
different individuals who he produced for that have different sounds, right? So his Ghostface stuff don't sound like his Master Killer stuff. That doesn't sound like his Genius stuff. You know, these are all different records. He played Ice Cream, you know, and records like that. So I don't know. I
There's
felt
a lot
like,
of shit that RZA could have played that he didn't play though.
oh, there was tons of stuff he could have played that he did. But I felt like he was playing. You know, he knew the homies were watching. He was holding it down for the Wu, and he wanted to get everybody in. Like they had a whole conversation about Inspector Deck, who's a very unsung member. You know, but it got us triumph finally after we were yelling at the screen. You know, he didn't play Cream until overtime.
Right. Why?
You know, didn't play records like Daytona 500. Didn't play, if you were gonna play,
Right.
didn't play Shay Shay La Ghost. Like,
Right.
but that just goes to show you how many damn records Wu-Tang Clan has.
Man, I just need people to get on a better accord as to what the fuck we're doing with these battles, because you're absolutely right. Nobody needed Primo to play a group home record. Nobody needed Primo to play a MOP record from the album before the album that y'all all know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I just feel like I get it and I understand and I respect what they both did, and it was very close. And I don't have no problems. I had an absolute ball. You know what I'm saying? But I just want the sound to be better.
And so that comes to part 3 of how you judge this thing. You judge this thing based on your age and where you're from. Bottom line. There are some of those Wu-Tang records, some people, even people our age, even people in their late 30s, early 40s, some of those Wu-Tang records, people have not ever heard, depending on where they're from.
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird to you, you know.
Well, but I feel like they're both the same producer as far as their core audience.
As far as their core audience, yes. But the fact that Premier has worked with a wider variety of people, and some of the
I,
hits that he's had have been more commercial than others.
see,
Some of
I don't agree with that. I just, yes, he's worked with more scattered people, but that doesn't mean that he's worked with a wider range. Like, once again, Wu Tang is
no,
10.
I don't mean a wider range in terms of their abilities or whatever. I'm just saying like people outside of that core nucleus, because Wu Tang is 10 people, but there are still people who cannot name you all 10 people.
And
There
but there
are
are
people
people,
who only
I
know.
think people know every member of Wu Tang, then they know who Group Home is.
Oh no,
Or,
no, that's a fact. That's a
right.
fact.
So what I'll say is, out of the records that Primo played, and I'm going to take out the Christina Aguilera record, which he won a Grammy for and was a record, but it's not a record that most people would be like, yo, Primo, play that joint. I'll say his records with Nas and his records with Jay-Z were his most memorable records that he played. Besides, and I'll even say this, Gangstar, you had to be a core fan of Gangstar
It's
to
real.
really acknowledge those records. But in the summer of '94, everybody knew Method Man. Everybody knew the Purple Tape. Everybody knew You're All I Need.
Everybody knew Method Man. Everybody knew You're All I Need. Everybody knew Ice Cream. Everybody didn't know the Purple Tape. Everybody knew Ice Cream. This is from somebody who was in Florida in the summer of '94.
Right, but if you knew,
Ice Cream.
but you knew a record off, right? Exactly, because that's how big a record Ice Cream was,
Right.
right? So that's fine. You didn't have to know the whole joint, but you knew a record off of there. But I just felt like Primo had more records. Like, if I was somebody who didn't live where I lived at, I wouldn't know that record
That's
because
possible.
he played joints I barely listened to. I was like, man, I heard that record or I only heard that record once or twice. He's playing like, I was a fan. Like, when he played DeWitt, like, for me, that's my favorite. That's it. If DJ Premier just played that every day for the rest of his life, I'd be happy, right? Because that's a perfect record, and that's a perfect record that also features Guru, and I'm happy for that. And I like Gangstar in the context of what they've done for hip hop, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you like I was a huge Gangstar fan.
Right.
It wasn't like I respected what they did, but when it came to Primo tracks, I was excited to hear Primo and Nas. I was excited to hear Primo and Jay, Primo and Big, because those were the guys I listened to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when he did those records, the Kick in the Door and all that stuff, that's when I was hyped.
I may be biased because Nas is one of my favorite beats ever. It's one of those, like, just the instrumental, just
That
puts
that
me
was
in a
just,
great
when he
mood
played
every
it.
day.
When he played it, we were like, okay, we don't care what RZA played. They each had beats like that. Like, where when one person played that beat, it was like, you might as well not even play this round. But that was definitely his. Yep, you got this round. It didn't matter what he played. And the funny thing was, RZA came out with joints, and he made Primo go in his undeniable bag faster than he wanted to.
Mm.
He got him a little bit uncomfortable with some of the choices that he made because he came out swinging. It was kind of even in the beginning, and it was even the whole round. But it was good for hip hop. It just really was. But I'm happy with the outcome no matter who won, but I was just really disappointed in the disrespect that people had for the RZA. That's the only take away from it. It's not, the battle. I'm happy with it, how it went down. I want the sound to be better, but I was just disappointed in hip hop because I was just like, everybody was doing the whole, he's just going to play Wu-Tang stuff. Well, do you realize how big Wu-Tang is? Like, we're not talking about somebody who was just doing a duo. Like, oh, he only did records for 3 people, or he only did records for, no, he did records for 10 people. 10 people.
And managed to, and not even, here's the other thing too. And the reason why.
Not even just 10 people. The Wu-Tang the bastard kids of Wu-Tang.
Shouts to Lava Dark Man. I'm such an asshole. I'm sorry. Here's the other thing, the other problem with this platform. Like, RZA didn't just make beats for these guys. RZA developed these guys
from scratch.
So, like, anyway, whatever. It's over. It happened. The playlist is on Tidal. Shouts to
It
Tidal
was
for that.
fun. It was absolutely fun. See, the Tidal playlists are the best part about it because then you can go listen to them in full clarity. You know what I'm saying?
I
And,
also
you
feel
know,
like I also feel like T-Pain and Lil Jon had so much fun with theirs that nothing is going to surpass that for me.
I want to see what this.
But
I want to see what this Teddy and Babyface is hitting for.
I'm also secretly I'm also secretly a booty shake queen. I'm also secretly a closet Florida girl. So, you know, it's of course that was the one that worked for my life.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
There's a lot of weird. There's a lot of weird bias in these battles.
Yeah.
It's funny because shout out to Jay Hatch, but Jay Hatch is a primo stan. And we all got our little biases. It's cool. Like my first raps were Wu-Tang-ish raps. You know what I'm saying? I was the Method Man, and I was also a huge Biggie and Jay-Z and Nas fan too. So every round where Primo played those records, I pretty much gave him the Primo. And I said, yo, I'm biased both ways, you know. But I was just, it was interesting. And every
So
time we see these records, we had the Atlanta versus what was it? One of the battles started a regional war.
it
Oh,
was
Scott,
Manny Fresh and Scott Storch.
right, started a whole regional war, damn near a race war, like all kind of wars.
But it's also a very interesting thing because it shows you the power, and this is something that the generations after ours, like the internet rap generation, may not ever understand
Right.
a a, a ginormous regional artist. Manny Fresh means the whole entire fucking world to the southeast,
Mm-hmm.
from
Yep.
Texas to maybe North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Not a whole, yeah, because
That's it.
he is the Black college experience. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like he is the Southern Black experience, and I got to witness it. I went to college in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I got to see it and see the impact and the power, and it carried over into Black culture as a whole.
And you can't say that about any current producer because all the current producers now, that's the whole thing, right? Is chasing the bigger artists that you can get to. So
Right.
even, when you talk about like a Boy Wonder and Hit Boy, you can't attribute a particular sound to those guys. There's not going to be records like they were playing songs that had an equal an equal appeal across the board. You understand what I'm saying? Like that reached the same amount of people. Same thing with RZA and Premier. Like even though to me, I'm really sitting here now and realizing that like it felt to me like Premier won certain things just because of the kinds of records that he made. In that the big Premier records just sound like more radio ready. They sound like shit that you would hear at the club or whatever. But this is coming from somebody with the very first CD that I went into debt to Columbia House for was a edited version of Enter the 36 Chambers. That's the first fucking like I was waiting for Jizz's album to drop. I was in love with Method Man. To Cal was the first album I bought with my own money. But So Ghetto and Nas is like and even Boom by Royce and 5 9 are a different period of my life.
Yeah, and I
So
mean, it's a great debate to have because both of them shifted the culture in so many different ways and are still relevant to this day and are still always going to be relevant to the culture. I mean, this dude, Bobby Digital, was battling us with his cartoons playing in the back. Like literally, he had the big screen on and had Cowboy Bebop playing in the background.
mhm.
I mean, it's just it don't get much more culturally significant than him. He changed us. He changed what we liked, what we were into. Cats start being into kung fu, and like it's wild. It's
He
wild. The
started
culture
talking to y'all
impact,
about the King Zigzag Zigalaw and all
man.
the other.
It and and DJ Premier and all the things that he's brought to us culturally relevant to this day, changed the culture. Probably the first, oh my God, when I met him in my life, out of all the people I met, first time I met him, I was just like, "You're DJ Premier," and there was a bunch of other people around, but that's DJ Premier because he built that sound that I came to know and love. And you just knew when a Premier record came on, you knew, and you knew it was going to hit right. So hip hop wins. Y'all right, hip hop wins.
RZA produced everything on Tikal, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't he play Release Your Delph? Okay.
Yo,
All right, I'm done. Okay.
yelling for that record.
Huh?
That intro, you know how many people were yelling for that record? Like, that was the first time that I sang something that I knew I couldn't sing, but I sang it with her. Because that intro, yeah.
Shout
We
out Blue Raspberry wherever the hell she's at.
Yo, listen. So Blue Raspberry
and Takitha.
So my boy Chris Wells, they did a record. They're up in Michigan, Detroit.
Uh-huh.
So the homie Ill Will, Blue Raspberry is up there. She lives in Michigan. They had Method Man come do a record, and we just played it the other day. And it's Ill Will featuring Method Man and Blue Raspberry.
Right.
I was happy to see that they still out here at it. So she still got them pipes, boy. I'm gonna spare y'all. But that was my intro.
You know, I'm taking everything in me not to start singing it. Okay.
I know when she came on. Listen, if you ain't never heard Release Your Delph, man, go listen to it. Classic record.
So look, I'm gonna call an audible. We've been running our mouths for about an hour and a half. We haven't got to the actual shit that we're supposed to talk about on this show. So for the first time ever, you guys, you can stop this episode and then you're going to get an episode 15.5, a bonus episode with the shit that we were supposed to be talking about, which is the music that dropped last week and the music that's dropping this week. So, in case you don't make it to the switch over, again, this is the Chopping Block Podcast. You can follow us on social media at the Chop Block Pod on everything except for Instagram, where we are at Chop Block Pod. And he is at Scissor215 on everything.
And she is at Saint Boogie.
On everything except for Facebook, but we ain't friends on Facebook any motherfucking way. So yeah, go ahead and go get you some water, stretch it out, go listen to Release Your Delph or whatever you need to do, and then come on back.